Good morning, friends. Welcome to Adda 24/7. We are in the Sankalpa series for BFM. In this series, we are covering important theory, objective questions, some numericals, some case studies. So, all of the parts we are covering. So, today, what are we covering? Today, we are covering in BFM. See, here, this is basically right now the time is for BFM. Okay. So, in BFM, today, we'll be covering Incoterms. What is an Incoterm? I'll tell you. Sir, important part is Incoterms is it is around 5 to 6 marks in your exam for BFM. 5 to 6 marks, remember. That much is the importance. So what is the schedule? Look at the schedule. One is we'll be studying firstly Incoterms, what are the various Incoterms. And second, we will be having the objective questions on the Incoterms. Okay. So firstly, let me discuss this. Now, many of you might be actually knowing the Incoterms, what the meaning of Incoterms, but then also I'll give you. Incoterms means it's a responsibility. Responsibility. Okay. A responsibility between whom? Here, whenever I do any export from here, so in that case, where will the seller give the goods and where will the buyer take the control of those goods? Where will the seller leave the control of the goods and where will the buyer take the control of the goods? This term is known as Incoterms. Means where, suppose, let's say, I'll tell you regarding this Incoterms. Whenever we go to them, you'll understand it better. Suppose, let's say, let's take the first Incoterm, X works. Okay, what is X works? X works means what? If this is my factory, okay, let me expand this. Okay, so it becomes easier for you to understand. Let me expand this. So, this X works. Suppose if seller says, I will put the goods, manufacture these goods and put it in front of my factory. I won't give you anywhere else. Just in front of my factory, I'll place them. You pay me and take these goods from here. How do you take it? What do you do? That's not my concern. So this is known as X works. This is the best Incoterm for any seller. Always. Why? Because here the responsibility of the seller is up to what? Up to the gate of his factory. That's it. From here, everything is on the buyer. Tomorrow, if while taking the goods, there is an accident, or if there is some robbery, then seller is not responsible. Seller says, okay, I have given the goods as per my terms and conditions. Now it's your responsibility. So this is known as X works, the best Incoterm for the seller. Then comes a bit higher. Now the buyer is in, let's say, USA. Seller is in, let's say, India. Okay. In that case, what will the buyer do? What will the buyer do over here? Now, if you look at it, the buyer over here, see this, I'll take this over here, or shall I make it smaller so that you understand? Yeah, now it's easy, simple to understand. Okay. Now let's say the buyer is in USA. Then what will the buyer say? Sir, see, coming to a factory and taking it is a difficult part. What I'll do is, you do one thing. You put these goods on the ship. Load these goods on the ship. And from here, my responsibility will start. So the seller will say, okay. In that case, what will happen? Seller will manufacture these goods, take these goods in the truck from his place or her place, not only his or her place, okay, up to the port, okay, and here the seller will take them up to the port and load these goods into the ship. This is called as loading on on board. This is known as board, okay. So the goods will be loaded on the board. Here, the responsibility of the seller ends. Once the goods are loaded on the board over here, say this, once they are loaded over here on the ship, then the responsibility of the seller ends. Okay. Then what happens? If tomorrow something happens to the ship, so this ship gets sunk over here, or there is a robbery, there is some storm, and the ship gets means material gets distorted. In that case, the seller is not responsible. Seller's responsibility was only loading on the board of the ship. Now, what is on the board? Again, remember this word you will find it many times. On board, on board, on board. What do you mean by on board? What is the word on board over here? Here. Now, this is a bit. We are going into the ship, right? It's not needed, but then also let me explain you. This top part of the ship is known as deck, D-E-C-K. You saw that Titanic movie? Everyone has seen that Titanic movie? That sea standing here and then that song, right? All that. This is known as deck, this top part. And board means this lower part, board. Always material or goods are always loaded in the ship below. Goods are always loaded on the board. They are never loaded on the deck. Okay, they are never loaded on the deck. So this is on board means the goods are loaded on this below part. Okay, otherwise what will happen? If they are loaded above and people are below, what will happen? They fall down on the people. Logic, isn't it? So that's why they are always loaded on the board below. Okay, so now what happens? Suppose if tomorrow this buyer says that this FOB you have understood? See here, on board. So this is known as FOB, free on board. So the responsibility of the seller is to load it on the board. Now there is one more incoterm attached to this. Means if the seller says, no, I won't load it on the ship. I will load it, I'll just put it besides the ship. Means wherever you have that place of keeping the goods on that port, there you will see, there I'll put it and there I'll put these goods. So that is known as FAS. Now what do you mean by this besides the ship? All of you have seen the old Hindi movies. Always in last, there is always a fight between the hero and the villain. Now 1980s, 90s, those movies, up to 2000 also. Nowadays everything is gone. Nowadays nobody has that last fight in the movie. There was a concept of last fight in the movie. Everyone remembers? Type yes in the comment section. Have you seen that old Amitabh or anyone's movies? Last fight. That last fight was mainly, many a times, it was on that deck only, on that ship only, port. All those containers, hero jumps. Now also you see it in the South Indian movies, right? Many of the South movies. You'll see the same. The hero jumping from that container, all that containers, that is basically FAS. So next time whenever you see this, you just call it FAS, okay? Free alongside ship. This is known as free alongside ship, okay? So this is FAS, free alongside ship, got it? Now this is incoterm FOB, this is FAS. Now next one is CFR and CIF. Look at this, CFR and CIF. CFR means what? Cost and freight. What does it mean? Here it means that the seller will put the goods on the ship, number one, means on the board. Then he will buy the logistic cost of this ship. Logistic cost means the ticket, you can call it in simple language. The ticket of that ship. That will be borne by the seller. So this is known as CFR. Now when this guy buys the ticket, then what happens? See here, his responsibility, his or her responsibility is only up to buying the ticket. If tomorrow something happens to the ship, again, seller says, I am not responsible. My responsibility was putting the goods on the board and buying that ticket. Okay, so that is called as CFR. Transport paid, transport, okay. The next one, after that comes CIF, cost, insurance and transport. So what does it mean? Here the seller will buy the ticket also, and also the next thing which he will buy, he or she will buy is insurance. If tomorrow this ship gets sunk, then the insurance company needs to pay. So who will pay the premium of this? So the premium is paid by the seller over here. So in CIF, the premium and the transport cost is borne by the seller. Important, remember. Okay. Why am I focusing more on this FOB, CFR, CIF, FS? Because 95% of the trade in this world, okay, big trade and not smaller trades, oil or all rice exports, anything, 95% of that is done via ship. It is not done via any truck. It is not done via any this aeroplane. Nothing. That's why we must always focus on ship. Okay. Now, important part over here, FOB. This FOB is important because your pre-shipment finance is always given on FOB in India. Pre-shipment finance means packing credit. That is always given on FOB. That's why this FOB is so much important. Okay. Now, suppose if I ask you to, suppose if I am having CIF Incoterm. Now, answer me, everyone answer me. Suppose if I am having a CIF Incoterm and I have to come to this FOB Incoterm. From CIF, I have to come to FOB. How will I come? How will I come to this point from CIF to FOB? How will I come? What will be my method of arriving at this FOB? Here, C means what? Cost. This cost means actually FOB. Understand this. C means this FOB. FOB is what? Free on board. That is the manufacturing cost. So this C means FOB. So if I have to come from CIF to FOB, I have to remove this I and F. Simple. So I'll have to remove this insurance and I'll have to remove this transport. So I'll just subtract this insurance and transport fees, whatever is paid, and I'll come to FOB. Because in exams, many times they give you CIF and then they ask you to find out the FOB. They give all the figures. Insurance also they give, then freight also. You have to just subtract it and you come to FOB. Okay. But also remember, while giving the pre-shipment finance, we have to subtract the profit also. Never forget the profit, because pre-shipment finance is given for the cost, not for the profit. And post-shipment finance is given on whichever Incoterm is given. No subtraction, nothing. Whatever is given, pay 100% in post-shipment finance. Remember, post-shipment finance, pay 100%. Pre-shipment finance, we finance as per the Incoterms, and that also FOB Incoterm, and that also generally 75%. Got it, everyone? So what are the four main Incoterms related to ship? FAS, FOB, CFR and CIF. Okay. Now next one. This is related to ship. Now if I have to transfer the goods, I said 95% is done through ship, but that 10% is done through this road and air also. So if I have to transfer the goods through road, then what? So if I have to transfer the goods through road, then the Incoterms used are different. What are these Incoterms? Then we have firstly FCA, free carrier. Now free carrier is same as FOB. Now look at this. Have I written it over here? No. See this. Free carrier is same as FOB. FCA on road is same as FOB on ship. Remember this. Simple. Here also the seller will just load the goods on this truck and that's it. Okay. Similarly, CPT, carriage paid to. Carriage paid to. Okay. This carriage paid to is same as CFR, cost and freight. CPT and CFR, same. Only CPT is related to road or air also. See here, for airway, you will say road, but what about airways? What about railway? Anything other than ship, these Incoterms are used. FCA, CPT, CIP, DAP. Anything other than ship. Okay. Sometimes even in air, even in this road, everywhere, there also these Incoterms are used. There also means in air shipment also you might find something FOB. So whenever we say FOB in air, it means we are talking of FCA. Okay. So CFR got it. Next one is CIP, cost insurance paid. Now what is this? Logically, tell me. This will be equal to what? Type in the comment section. Type in the comment section. This will be equal to what? Everyone. This will be equal to, yes, CIP will be equal to CIF. CIF, cost, insurance and freight. Because here also cost and this carriage and insurance paid. Okay. So got this point now? Now this is an Incoterm for road. Okay. So now you got these four FAS, FOB, CFR, CIF, FCA, CPT, CIP. Done. X works already done. So how many are closed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now 2, 3 are remaining. DAP and DDP. Okay. These are remaining. Remember, they are hardly of any use in your numericals. In numericals, you won't get it anything related to DAP or DDP. Only this is for theory. In DAP means what? What do you mean by this Incoterm DAP? DAP means delivery at place. Delivery at place means what? Wherever this buyer will say, there the seller will have to send the goods. If buyer says, I have a godown there in Chennai, my office is in Mumbai, you send the goods to Chennai godown. So what does it mean? Delivery at place. Send it to Chennai godown, even though the office is in Mumbai. Okay. So in DAP, remember, delivery at place. Here it is decided who will pay the customs duty at the export side, who will pay the customs duty at the import side. Both the things are decided. Okay. So and DDP, delivery duty paid. This is the best Incoterm for the buyer. Why? Because in DDP, now look at this. This DAP and DDP, they are applicable to both ship as well as road and rail or air or anything. Okay. Now DDP is applicable. DDP means what? Delivery duty paid. It is the best Incoterm for the buyer. Why? Because here every responsibility is on the seller. Paying the customs duty at the export side, paying the customs duty at the import side over here. Then bringing the goods up to whatever place this buyer wants. So that is known as DDP. So these are the 10 Incoterms which are used basically in any export or import trade. Okay. See, this is the example I have given. Suppose if I am having CIF of 1000, insurance is 30, freight is 60. Then my this FOB will be what? 1000 minus 90, 910. Okay. CFR, cost and freight, it is 1000. Insurance is 30, freight is 60. Then FOB will be what? Now understand this. Here what have I done? I have subtracted only 1000 minus 60. I have not done this subtraction of 30 because it is CFR Incoterm. Cost and freight. Only have to subtract freight over here. So 940. Got it? Always remember, while solving any numerical, you have to do this, but you have to do in addition this profit percentage also. Now this is a typical numerical which I have solved. Just for your reference, I'll give you. CIF is given as 1200. Insurance and freight, now combined it is given as 10%. Profit is given as 15%. So suppose if I tell you to arrive at a FOB or pre-shipment finance. Suppose if you have to give the pre-shipment finance in this part, overall this scenario. Okay. So what will you do? CIF is 1200, insurance and freight is 10%, profit is 15%. What will you do? First, what you do, you first find out the 10%. What is the 10%? 1200, right? 1200 minus this 10%. So it is what? 120. Okay. Then again, profit is 15%. Find the profit of 15% from this 1200 itself. So 1200 into 15%, 180. So now subtract this. 1200 minus 180 minus 120. So you get it as 900. So this is FOB value. But from this FOB value, what have you to do? You have to give the finance of 75% only. So from this 900, you will be paying 75% only. So this is the basic logic of pre-shipment finance. That's why I took this numerical over here. Okay. Now before going ahead, everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests, whatever we require for clearing a JIB and CIB. We'll be getting it over here. Okay. So download this immediately. Got it? Okay. Now these are the Incoterms. I have written it over here, theory part. So you can definitely read this. Departure, X works already explained. Main carriage paid, CFR, CIF, CPT, CIP. All these are showed. Main carriage paid Incoterm. Now these two are related to ship. CPT and CIP are related to this road and air and everything. Okay. Main carriage paid, unpaid. Unpaid means the carriage is not paid. FCA, FAS, FOB. FCA is related to this railways or road. FAS and FOB are generally related to ship. Okay. Arrival, DAP and DDP. Delivery at place, and this DDP is delivery duty paid. So here arrival means at the importer side. Okay. This is, I have given the responsibility for each of the seller, means it's same thing which I discussed, just it's given in details over here. Details means where the responsibility is for your reading basically. Incoterm, Xworks, FCA, FAS, FOB, all these. Export packaging, who is doing what? Okay. So where is the responsibility? These are the responsibilities. Okay. You can read this, expand this, enhance this video and read this. Okay. Next one. Now before going ahead, everyone join Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel you will be getting the latest updates. Now how to join this? Latest updates from IIBF regarding JIB and CIB, and importantly you will get this, the free YT series, YouTube series. Now how to join these channels? Scan these QR codes. This is for your this Telegram channel. This is for your YouTube, and the next one is for your Instagram. Scan them and join it immediately. We are giving many free YouTube videos over there, ebooks over there, tests over there on these channels. Join all the three. Okay. Now let's come to the questions. Minimum obligation of the seller is represented in which time of the Incoterm? Now this is easy for you. Answer is FOB, Xworks, DDP and DPU. Now which one? The correct answer is Xworks. Correct? Xworks. Okay. FAS and FOB are rules of which kind of transport? Which kind? Any kind of transport, internal, inland waterways and seaport, railways only, and air only. What is this? Now type in the comment section. Let me call this ABCD. A, B, C and D. Now type the answer. Is it A or B or C or D? FAS and FOB are which type, or for which type of this transport? It is B. Correct? It is B. Isn't it? Next one. There's a Thai company which imports from USA, which is importing from USA for the first time. When this company imports from USA, which Incoterm consignee should propose to the shipper for their benefit? Their means whose benefit? Their benefit. Consignee. Who is the consignee? Consignor and consignee. Consignee means it's always the buyer. Okay. For their means what? Buyer's benefit. Let's talk about this buyer's benefit over here. Buyer. Let me be specific over here. Buyer. For buyer's benefit. So which Incoterm should this buyer propose to the shipper? Shipper means seller, exporter. So should he or she propose this Xworks or FOB or CFR or FCA? Now, what do you say about this? Now you are having the problem. All of you might be thinking, sir, the best one is DDP for the buyer. But there is no DDP given over here. So the right answer is DDP, but no DDP given. But what is the answer then? See here, we have to choose the best among these. Xworks means what? It is the best for the seller. FOB means what? Loading on the ship. CFR means what? Cost and freight. And FCA means what? Free carrier. Okay. So FOB and FCA are same. So these are same over here. So which is the best among these? Xworks, FOB and CFR. Which is the best for the buyer. Which is the best for the buyer over here? Among these three. Among these three, it is CFR. Remember, DDP is the best for the buyer in ideal conditions. It might not be ideal conditions every time. Okay. So, which is the best for you, that you should agree. Suppose if it is said that benefit for the seller. Suppose if this is for the seller's benefit, then which one is the best? Then it's X works. For the seller, it's always X works, right? Which is this Incoterm? Say this Incoterm. Here, the seller is, this is the seller. So, seller is putting the goods up to the ship. Okay, up to the ship. Loading the goods on the ship. And then the ship is going out. So, which is this Incoterm? FOB, X works, CIP, CPT. Type in the comment section. Which is this Incoterm? Which is this? Fast. This is FOB. Okay, free on board. Correct? What is the difference between CFR and CIF? CFR, see this, cost and freight. If CIF means cost, insurance and freight. So CFR, no duty. CIF, shipper pays duty. Is this related to duty? Not at all. Nothing related to duty. CFR, shipper pays cost, means freight. Here consignee pays freight. Now shipper pays freight, and here CIF, consignee pays freight. Shipper means this shipping company. Okay, or in fact the seller. Okay, seller. So shipper pays the cost, freight, and here consignee pays the freight. Nothing like this. Both of them, CFR, cost and freight, the seller pays the freight over here, right? In both CIF also and CFR also. CFR, no insurance, and CIF, shipper pays the insurance, means seller. Now this is right. CFR, no insurance, and CIF, seller pays the insurance, shipper, okay, exporter. CFR, shipper takes the risk, CIF, consignee takes, it's not that. Consignee means buyer takes the risk, no one. Here, shipper takes the risk, CFR, shipper does not take the risk over here, seller. And in consignee, this also. Consignee means insurance is brought in by the seller, but the risk is not taken. The seller will only pay for the insurance if something happens. Okay. But the right answer over here is this. CFR, no insurance. CIF, shipper pays the insurance. Okay. Clear? So now, I would urge everyone to join the Sankalpa batch, selection batch. Okay. In this batch, we are covering all the numericals, objective questions, case studies, all the compulsory subjects are covered. And very important here, important is case studies. All the case studies are covered in this batch. You can join the Mahapack as well. In Mahapack, you are getting multiple batches. Plus, you are getting ebooks, tests, video lectures, recorded lectures. You are getting electives also. Any doubt, call on this number, flashing. Okay, how to join this? Okay, let me show you. Go to Adda 24/7. How to go there? Here, I would always suggest you to go through the app, because in the app you are getting 1% extra. How to go there? See this. Go to Adda 24/7 over here. If you are going through the website, go to Adda 24/7. Click on JIB and CIB. Click on CIB November 23. Okay. So here you will see the Sankalpa batch. Sankalpa batch. Okay. Click on this English. Got it? This one. You'll see the details. Look at this. Online live classes, test series, ebooks. Now click on ebooks. You'll see subject-wise ebooks. Look at this. Subject-wise. Now click on this subject-wise ebooks. You'll see chapter-wise ebooks. Means in such details are you getting? You're getting up to up to the level of the chapter. So what all do you want? That is for basically ebooks. Now look at the test series also. Same. Subject wise, click on the subject. You get module wise and chapter wise also. So that's what is needed, isn't it? When you get the material in such details, the test, the ebooks, the classes, then you can definitely clear it. Okay. So that's why I would suggest to join this fast, and importantly, 80% off is going on. Such a huge discount we never get. Okay. How to join this? Okay. Click on buy now. Fill in the details. See this. Click on continue. Code is already applied. See, Fill in the details. 23,999 reduces to 4,799. Huge discount. Okay. You can join the Mahapack also. In Mahapack, you are getting multiple batches. Let me show you. See this. Go to Mahapack. See this. Right now, on the Mahapack, there's a double validity offer going on. Plus 80%. See this. 80% off plus double validity. Means you buy for 6 months, you get for 12 months. You buy for 12 months, you get for 24 months. Okay. So both these packages are having the double validity offer. You should buy any one of them. Okay. Now in this, I'll tell you, as I told you, you're getting test series, ebooks, videos, online live classes, interactive classes, recorded sessions. Okay, you can go through the highlights here. All of them are given over here. Okay, so that's why join it fast. I'll be back tomorrow with another series. Till then, keep studying and do join the batches ASAP because exams are near.